Want to know the secret to speaking like a CEO? It's not about using big words or delivering a speech from a podium. It's about using simple, yet powerful techniques that grab attention, build trust, and make people want to listen. In fact, research shows that CEOs who speak effectively can boost their influence by up to 20%. Imagine how that could transform your career. Here's a surprising fact: studies reveal that 93% of communication is non-verbal. That's right, it's not just what you say, but how you say it that makes all the difference. CEOs know this, and they've mastered it. The way they pause, the tone they use, and the stories they tell are all part of their secret weapon for connecting with their audience. In this guide, we'll dive into 6 simple yet powerful techniques that will help you speak with confidence, clarity, and authority, just like the world's top leaders. You'll discover how to control your body language, speak with purpose, and craft stories that stick. Whether you're speaking in a meeting or presenting to thousands, these strategies will help you stand out as a leader in any room. Ready to speak like a CEO? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Power of Pause. Command attention in silence. When it comes to speaking like a CEO, silence is a powerful tool. The ability to pause during your speech is something many overlook. But for top leaders, it's one of their best-kept secrets. Why? Pausing creates anticipation. It gives your words more weight and forces your audience to lean in. You don't need to rush through a speech, just a few seconds of silence can make your message more memorable. Research backs this up. Studies show that people retain information better when it's delivered with pauses. The pause allows the brain to process the message. In fact, the University of Illinois found that listeners can recall up to 25% more of what was said when pauses are included. CEOs like Elon Musk use this strategy all the time. He doesn't rush his words, and his pauses create a sense of gravity and purpose in every speech. It's not just about silence for the sake of it, though. A well-timed pause after delivering a key point makes people reflect on what you said. Think of it like planting a seed in the audience's mind. Let them think about it before you move on. For example, when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone in 2007, his pauses between sentences allowed the excitement and anticipation to build. Everyone was on the edge of their seat waiting for the next word, which made the moment even more impactful. Pauses also give you time to breathe. When you pause, you naturally calm your nervous system, allowing you to collect your thoughts. This can drastically reduce anxiety, making you appear more composed and in control. So, next time you're preparing to speak, don't just focus on your words. Think about where you can pause. Use that silence to your advantage, and watch how people start to pay closer attention. Chapter 2: Tone it like a tycoon. Mastering vocal dynamics. A CEO doesn't just speak, they command attention with their voice. It's not enough to have great content, you need the right tone to back it up. Research shows that how you say something is often more important than what you say. According to a study by the University of Maryland, the tone of your voice accounts for up to 38% of how your message is received. In public speaking, tone isn't just about speaking louder. It's about knowing when to speak softly and when to raise your voice for emphasis. If you speak in a monotone, you'll lose your audience's attention quickly. But when you use variation in your pitch and volume, your message becomes more engaging. Top CEOs, like Richard Branson, are known for using vocal dynamics to connect with their audiences. Branson's voice carries a sense of enthusiasm, yet it's calm enough to inspire trust. It's a great balance that allows him to command attention and, at the same time, seem approachable. One technique is to slow down your speech during key moments. When you slow down, people take notice. It's almost like the words become more important. Conversely, speeding up at the right moments can convey excitement and energy, keeping the audience on their toes. Another crucial aspect is your energy level. Your voice should reflect the mood of your message. If you're sharing an inspiring story, your tone should lift, reflecting excitement and passion. On the other hand, if you're discussing a serious issue, a deep and steady voice shows authority. CEOs are known for being masters of this. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. She's a master of pacing and tonality. In her speeches, she carefully adjusts her tone based on the emotional message she's trying to convey, making her words feel like they're coming from the heart. So, when speaking, pay attention to the power of your voice. Don't be afraid to experiment with tone and pacing, and see how much more effective your communication becomes. Chapter 3: Storytelling over stats. Make your message stick. In the corporate world, numbers matter. But do you know what sticks in people's minds longer than statistics? Stories. CEOs don't just deliver facts, they tell stories that make their messages memorable. Humans are hardwired to connect with stories. According to research from Princeton University, people sync their brainwaves when they listen to a compelling narrative. Take Steve Jobs again, his product launches weren't just about the technical details. They were about a vision. He used storytelling to make people feel like they were part of something revolutionary. When he introduced the iPod in 2001, he didn't focus on the tech specs. Instead, he painted a picture of how it would change the music industry forever. That's the power of a great story. The best CEOs know that a story can humanize them. It helps people see the person behind the brand. Look at Howard Schultz of Starbucks. He didn't just talk about the company's growth or the quality of its coffee. He shared his personal journey, from growing up in a poor neighborhood to building Starbucks into a global brand. That kind of storytelling resonates with people on an emotional level. But how do you craft your own compelling stories? Start by framing your message around a narrative structure. There's always a beginning, a middle, and an end. Present a challenge, show how it was overcome, and highlight the impact. This simple structure can turn any message into a powerful story. People remember stories because they engage both the heart and the mind. According to a study by the University of California, people are 22 times more likely to remember a piece of information when it's presented as a story. Stories create connections, and those connections are what make a message stick. Think about it, when you reflect on some of the most iconic speeches you've heard, chances are, they involve stories. Barack Obama's "Yes, we can" speech is a prime example. It wasn't just about political policies, it was a story of hope and change. Incorporating storytelling into your presentations doesn't mean you have to be a professional storyteller. You just need to find the story behind the numbers. Whether it's about your personal journey or the journey of your company, storytelling is an essential technique for any great speaker. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to speak like a CEO. We've got more great strategies coming up that you won't want to miss. Chapter 4, Gestures that speak louder than words. Your body is your brand. When you think of a great speaker, you probably imagine someone with a strong presence, someone who commands the room without even saying a word. That's the power of body language. A CEO knows how to use gestures, posture, and facial expressions to reinforce their message. In fact, research from Harvard Business School shows that 55% of communication is non-verbal, which means your body language plays a huge role in how your message is received. For example, when a CEO stands tall with their shoulders back, they automatically project confidence. A strong posture shows authority and encourages trust. But slouching or crossing your arms can make you appear closed off or insecure. It's a small shift, but it makes a big difference. Eye contact is another essential part of body language. When you maintain eye contact with your audience, you create a sense of connection. A study from the University of Michigan found that people are more likely to trust someone who makes eye contact during a conversation. CEOs like Jeff Bezos use eye contact strategically. He looks his audience in the eye to convey sincerity and to engage him fully. Gestures are also crucial for emphasizing your points. Research by the University of Chicago revealed that people remember 30% more information when speakers use hand gestures. CEOs often use their hands to show size, direction, or emotion. It's an effortless way to communicate that reinforces your verbal message. Steve Jobs was a master of this. When he introduced the iPhone, his hand gestures emphasized the groundbreaking nature of the product. He wasn't just talking about the tech, he was showing it, physically embodying the change he was describing. Your body language should align with your words. If you're talking about something exciting, don't be afraid to use dynamic gestures. On the flip side, if you're delivering a serious message, keep your gestures minimal to maintain gravity. This alignment builds trust with your audience. Small changes in body language can have a massive impact. When you stand confidently, use appropriate gestures, and make eye contact, you'll naturally enhance your communication and draw your audience in. Chapter 5, The Power of Simplicity. Speak like a CEO, not a scholar. If you want to speak like a CEO, you must simplify your message. Overcomplicating things with jargon or overly technical terms can quickly lose your audience. In fact, studies show that people forget up to 75% of what they hear if it's too complex. Simplicity, on the other hand, leads to clarity, and clarity leads to influence. Think about it, CEOs like Warren Buffett don't use complex language to get their points across. He's known for his simple, straightforward communication style. Buffett uses analogies and relatable examples to break down complex financial topics. His ability to simplify complex ideas is a key factor in why people trust him. You can do the same. Break down your message into bite-sized pieces. Focus on the core idea you want your audience to remember. This is especially important when presenting new concepts or strategies. If people can't understand your message in the first 30 seconds, they're likely to tune out. Research from the University of California suggests that simplifying your speech can improve the effectiveness of your message by as much as 40%. That means by cutting out unnecessary details and focusing on the essentials, your message will be clearer and more memorable. Take Richard Branson, for example. He speaks in short, punchy sentences, cutting through the fluff and getting straight to the point. This makes him more relatable and ensures his message sticks. As Branson himself says, complexity is your enemy. Any fool can make something complicated. It is hard to make something simple. When you simplify, you also create room for clarity. Your audience will have a clearer understanding of what you're saying, and they'll be more likely to act on your message. Whether you're giving a presentation or addressing a team, simplifying your language will help you be more persuasive. So, next time you speak, ask yourself, can I say this more simply? Try to remove unnecessary words and focus on the core idea. It'll make a huge difference in how your message is received. Chapter 6: Authenticity over Perfection. How CEOs speak from the heart. One of the biggest mistakes many people make when trying to become a great speaker is aiming for perfection. CEOs know that perfection isn't the goal. Authenticity is. The most effective leaders embrace their real selves and speak from the heart. In fact, studies show that authenticity is one of the top traits people look for in a leader. According to a study by the Center for Creative Leadership, leaders who are perceived as authentic are 13 times more likely to gain their team's trust. Authenticity is about being true to yourself. It's about not pretending to be someone you're not or trying to sound perfect. People are drawn to realness. Think about the way Sheryl Sandberg communicates. She's open about her vulnerabilities, and that vulnerability makes her more relatable and trustworthy. When you speak authentically, you connect with your audience on a deeper level. People can sense when you're being genuine, and they're more likely to remember what you say. In fact, research by the University of California shows that audiences are 50% more likely to remember a message when they feel the speaker is being authentic. It's also important to note that authenticity doesn't mean being unpolished. You can still be professional and polished, but you should never sacrifice authenticity for perfection. CEOs like Oprah Winfrey exemplify this. She's known for her warm, authentic speaking style that feels personal and real, even when she's addressing thousands of people. To speak authentically, you need to embrace your imperfections. Don't be afraid to show emotion or to make mistakes. As leadership expert Simon Sinek puts it, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. If your audience feels your passion and sincerity, they'll connect with you more deeply. Remember, people relate to the real you, not the perfect version you might try to present. So, embrace your authentic self in every speech. Speak from the heart, and your audience will listen not just to your words but to the emotions behind them. Subscribe for more tips on speaking like a CEO. The next set of strategies will show you how to make your voice and gestures work together to command attention. Don't miss out. In these chapters, we've covered the importance of using body language effectively, simplifying your speech, and embracing authenticity. These techniques can take your speaking abilities to the next level, just like a CEO. When you incorporate these strategies, you'll not only become a more engaging speaker, but you'll also build stronger connections with your audience. So, go ahead, speak like a CEO, and let your true self shine through.